Thank you everyone for being here, for being part of our inaugural CFX virtual event. As I'm sure you all know, that this 2020 has been a year that none of us have ever expected or experienced, and we are all finding new ways to do things that not only continue to bring value to our attendees, but obviously for companies like yourself, connect you with the audience as best we can. Yesterday I sent out that exhibitor bulletin, which did have our data of who the profile is, who are the attendees that we're getting. And they are exactly who we anticipated. They're pastors, they're tech team people, they're facilities managers. What really surprised me in a great way was seeing that 93% of them had some purchasing authority, either by themselves, or they share it, or they influence decision making, which is awesome. I mean, that I can tell you at USITT I would have died for numbers like that. So I was very excited to see that. We will, as you can anticipate, continue to market not only into Monday, but beyond that, all the way through the event. We have a very robust calendar that has email sends to people that haven't registered to let them know what they're missing and what will be coming up. We have reminder emails that are going to be going out very often throughout the weeks, letting people know of what's going on in the virtual network. So it might be, this afternoon there's a session going on that you're interested in, or it might be visit our exhibitors in the expo hall. We'll have campaigns that continually drive people back into the network throughout the entire event. So I will do some quick housekeeping. One thing that I just learned, actually Brian started it yesterday, that we just found out that this system apparently works best with Firefox and Chrome. So if it does not like Safari, apparently does not like Internet Explorer. So if you are having any difficulties logging in, that may be one of the challenges for this. And I did see, Brian, your booth today. You've clearly mastered it. Yours is beautiful. So kudos to you. Good job.
Thank you. Yeah, once I got in Chrome, it worked well.
Yeah, it's a pretty simple system once you get into it. We created, I'll start with this, our exhibitor virtual kit. We have built an exhibitor kit very similar to what you would see for a live event, just with the pertinent information that you'll need for this event here in a virtual setting. So at any time, you can always reach out to myself or Stephanie. Stephanie is online here today. She is our conference manager. Her role is focusing on the content and demos that will happen not only with this virtual event, but with the live event next September as well. And even beyond that with webinars and podcasts and all kinds of things that we're doing. What's included in the virtual booth? You've got a welcome video and image, custom backgrounds, custom tiles, a 20-minute demonstration, which I believe Stephanie has contacted everybody and worked on scheduling and getting that into our program. And then the upgraded options that are available, this one-on-one video connection, I'll show you what it looks like. It's very similar to a Zoom. It's just built into that system. And there are some banner ad locations that are available for people that want to do any additional advertising. This exhibitor registration, it comes with 4 virtual booth staff registrations. If you need additional ones, I'm sure we can accommodate the reason we came up with 4 is very similar to what you would see at a live event, that we have 4 registrations per 100 square feet. So we sort of started with that. If there are needs, we'll figure it out. But that's our initial goal.
What is their role?
I'm sorry?
What is their role as virtual
Oh,
staff?
good question. So I would consider that for your sales staff. If you have specific people that are within a different product line or regional areas, anyone who would be covering um, your booth to be able to answer questions, and also attend sessions and participate in the event overall.
Okay.
Sure. So here in the exhibitor kit, you can find this exhibitor registration and virtual booth. It really is the same entrance for anyone who needs to get into there. I obviously have logged directly in. If I was to, I think I can log out. Hopefully it'll log me back in. Hey, see, Kurt, I was logged in as you at one point.
I'm glad you can log in. I can't.
Yeah. Now, are you using Chrome or Firefox?
I'm using Chrome.
Interesting. We'll get that working.
All right.
I'll follow up right after this is over. So as you can see, I logged right into this dashboard. I'll go over this in a second, but I'm going to go right back to the kit just to go over the remaining information there. Here you see graphic specs. We created this document, which basically has a giant screenshot of what a virtual booth looks like. The one thing I will note is I noticed when I was just working in the booth that this one, the custom background numbers are wrong. The 1920 is correct, but the 3000 is way too big. That would, I believe, would be giant and go into different areas. I put in a 1920 by, I can't remember the size. It'll I'm sure tell me. It's like 1500 data, and it works just fine. But as you go through it, you can see what the booth looks like, what the different specs are, what the different terms would be. Like link out would tell you that this is what that refers to. And it is very simple to plug in all of these different pieces. Back here, you'll also find some banner ads that we've created that you are welcome to share. Each exhibiting company has been given a VIP promo code, which you're welcome to offer to any of your customers. It does give them a $20 discount off of the registration, which is normally $49. So they're getting it for 29 bucks. This also, you should have received these custom landing page links. They are, essentially it's a page that has been created that is almost like a CFX homepage that is specified for you. It includes your logo, your VIP code, and what's great about utilizing that URL, which you can share anywhere, in emails, you can share it in your social media. It does start to populate in our system so that they can receive advertising and know what's going on within the event. So you don't even have to give us their email address, and we're able to advertise to them, which I think is really helpful in growing our outreach. You too can also in your dashboard see who has clicked on your links and what work has happened with that. So you should be able to see that. It'll be in your the exhibitor bulletins that you've been receiving. You should have seen that. If you didn't, let me know and I'll get that to you. And obviously we are doing these demos here, talking about this. So I'm going to jump into the virtual booth. I will show you what this thing is like. Here is a dashboard. When you go through registration initially, it'll ask you to upload your logo. You can at any time make changes to any of the graphics. Hey, my friend Liam. So when you are in this area, your basic information for your registration is right here. Exhibit details, as I mentioned, here's my logo. It tells me who's my main contact. Preview exhibit page will give you the front view of what the virtual booth looks like, what the attendees will see. Exhibit upgrades, you'll notice we've included many of the upgrades for free this first time around. We really wanted to make the booth look as great as possible for not only for you, but for the attendees experience. So you'll notice that most of the upgrades in the registration process you can select in their no charge for them. This ad space is mentioned that there are advertising opportunities in and around the website. I'll show you those in a second. The big thing is going to be in this exhibit upgrades area. Configuring your upgrades. Actually, I should probably back up a step because I want to walk you through what the registration looks like. Manage. This should take us back, yes, to the beginning of registration. When you start your registration or you log in for the first time, you'll see that you're an exhibitor, you're entering your information, basic stuff. Here on the next page, you create your, you upload your profile. My fancy one, fancy selfie. On the next page. Okay, this is where you start to enter in some directory company information. So I've got my company name. I didn't have a description, I just wrote down association, but you could write a quick blurb in this point. There's gonna be lots of other areas to add stuff, so I've noticed I would keep this kind of like a single line of information, a tagline or something along those lines. You enter in your company information, adding your company logo here at this point, company address, social media URLs. I think I'm on my faster internet. I am. My poor computer. This is where I was talking about the upgrades. So here, there are some opportunities to add advertising spaces around the website. The dashboard ad is going to be the home page for all of the attendees when they land there. It'll have the listing of all the sessions. It'll have some links to some of the sponsors. Our social media feed will be on there. It typically is going to be in the right corner of the page, the very most top portion of it. Same thing for the virtual sessions. When they're in a session, they'll have that advertising capability up on the top right. Attendee directory and exhibitor directory is the exact same, and I'll show you those in just a second when we go there. Here you can see all of these different upgrades that we've done at no charge. We wanted to make sure, as I mentioned, that this is included. So this is like custom creative. It's the back of the tile, the background of your page. You can add either just a nice image or you can kind of create it as something specific. All the welcome medias, which would be videos or pictures. Additional video embeds would be obviously anything like a YouTube or a Vimeo video. Custom text, this is where you're able to add in a big description piece. I actually learned something which I'll show you. There's a trick to add even more video if you like. Custom links, I've got a couple of recommendations I'll show you. Resources would be brochures, anything that somebody would be a normal takeaway. The private meeting room, this one does have a charge. And the reason we did the $50 charge is because of we have to pay per bandwidth on this piece. So it is literally covering cost on that one. The priority listing, this is, honestly, I did not expect anybody to purchase this, but you do have the ability to upgrade your listing and put you at the top of the exhibitor list if you wanted that additional branding recognition. And moving on. This really just adds these sessions to your agenda. You don't really need to because you have access to everything, but it's more of a calendar saver. All right, I have an additional booth staff of my brother who I registered. He's gonna find that out later on. And then registration verification just goes through everything that you've added here, which is very simple. It's actually way too much in my opinion. I wish those sessions didn't do that. We've completed it, and now we're back in our dashboard session area. So I'm going to do a quick preview to show you what my page looks like that I created. So this is that custom background that I mentioned, the 1980 pixels by like 1500, I believe it is. Our logo, we've added our social media link for Facebook, what our category is, which attendees are able to search by. There are two of those options. One here is the demo room, which is the live video connection. That's sort of a Zoom back and forth that we can have live with attendees. Schedule a meeting. This link is actually something that is external, but I think is something that everyone should consider doing. I have created a free account with Calendly. I'll show you what it looks like if you don't have it. This is a calendar assisting website. It connects directly for attendees to book time with you if they wanted to schedule an appointment. So in my virtual booth, which is right here, let's say if I was an attendee and it's 9 o'clock at night and no one's in the virtual booth, I want to schedule a meeting. I can schedule an appointment for tomorrow for 30 minutes at 10 o'clock. And you just enter your details as an attendee and you'll have, this is connected to my Gmail. So I will have it show up in my Gmail account as a meeting that has been scheduled. And now all I have to do is the next day, show up at 10 o'clock and we connect in this CFX demo room, which looks like pretty much your standard Zoom meeting. Hi, there's me again. Hello, everybody. You can have up to 4 people in a room. So it's similar to a 10 by 10 in the sense that you can have a couple of people talking in a different conversation. So if Kathy and I were talking and Kurt wanted to jump in, as an exhibitor, an attendee knocks is what they call it. You as the exhibitor will get the opportunity to allow them to come in, or you can deny them. I don't know why you would deny them if we're spending the money to do this. As you can see, there is a chat feature as well. And wow, it allows for emojis. But it's the thing that I found the coolest because it is the most like the live experience and that we can have a conversation directly to it. This is that area that I mentioned that the company description is, where I said I would keep it to just a single sentence because it is going to fill in this area. And you have this area, which is the custom text, which you can fill out and really go robust with. I copy and pasted from our front page of our website into this area. And it turns out it actually brought over the HTML for the video embed. So if you didn't have enough video on the website that you wanted to post, you can actually throw it into that spot as well. Here's our sales team. This is able to connect to people. I don't think I've completed his profile, which is why that doesn't show up there. Additional videos. I've taken these these both are on YouTube. This one is on, you know what? I copied the same one. I took a Vimeo one as well. Actually, let's do a test. Copy video link. And then lastly, here's the resources where you can check out the resources. And this goes to any PDF, Word document, Excel document that you'd like to have downloaded for the attendees to view. So now I'm going to show you how to do all of that. In this configure upgrade area, you can select which feature you want to work on. So I'm going to do additional video embeds. And I'm going to have, here's my problem. I had a YouTube link there. And I'm going to add that Vimeo link You can change the name to say introduction for exhibitors. Simple as click save. And let's see if it worked. Preview exhibit page. And it should. There it is. So Vimeo works, YouTube works. In here, again, in the different features, configure. So we have the virtual private meeting room where I've purchased that additional room for $50. I just create a name. You can purchase additional rooms. If I was an exhibitor, I don't think that there's a need for more rooms. If we were doing a one-day event and had a massive amount of people there, I would say that that is a possibility. Like you could have a lighting room and a sound room. But for us, in the situation that we have that lasts over a couple of months, I think that it would be more valuable to just have a single room. I didn't mean to do that. Figure upgrades. In any of these other ones that have graphics, this is the custom creative. So this is the area that's behind the logo. So here it's super simple. You can drag and drop, or I just select it from my downloads folder. And I'm going to do this background test. And that'll show up right back there. Yeah, clearly my sizing is a little off, but we have the ability. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Now it'll fit. Ta-da. Apply. So that's the concept there where we save it. And then the other documents are very much the same process of your custom background, your welcome media. We're allowing people to have up to 5 in there. So I entered in this first one already, which is from that video, the Vimeo player. But you could also add a static image if you wanted to. In the same selection, select a picture, you can put it on there. I don't know what I've got for pictures on this thing. Yeah, let's do that one. See what happens. This is going to be on our social media tomorrow, I believe. There you go. Apply. And then you can do something like community. Save. It's a very easy process as far as building the virtual booth is. The biggest challenge seems to be logging in some regard. And as you can see, community, I just put that picture in there. This should show up in a second. Hey, look at that. And as I mentioned, I really like this schedule a meeting thing. I think this is probably for an event of our scope going to be something that would be very valuable. That actually brings up a point that I spoke earlier with our friends at Waves, and they were trying to understand the schedule a bit of how our event works and when they should be staffing their booths. So the concept of this event, and I use event in like air quotes, and because it is not like what you're seeing with some of the other ones where they're a single 8-hour day or a couple of 8-hour days. We know that the engagement is very low on those events, that people they're in for about an hour or 2 hours and then they tune out. They might come back, but it's not a very long retention span. What we decided to do was take that vertical schedule and turn it horizontal. Spread this out over 6 weeks or so right now to allow people to just check in, do their 1 hour that we know that their attention span is good for, and allow them to check out after that's over. All of the sessions will be made on demand immediately after, so people can log in at any hour of the day. They're going to treat this like a Netflix system. If I was an attendee, I would see my schedule here. This session starts at 1:50. We've got a 10-minute warm-up video we'll have. When 1:50 p.m. starts, this will say join now, and it becomes available for people to view. After the session concludes, it will be moved into this video on demand. That is also going to be the case for your demos, and I'll let Stephanie talk about that in a second. But we've scheduled things for this event. Virtual sessions. Yeah, here's the way to do it. The rationale was we're going to do a session on leadership on Mondays, a session on facilities on Wednesdays, and a session for technology and production on Fridays. We have added these additional virtual expo hall hours, which it looks kind of funny that it's only a 15-minute window. There's no saying that it has to be 15 minutes. As an attendee, they could go in at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. They could go in at 5 p.m. The idea, though, is to guide the attendees and say, this is a very good time for you to go check out the exhibitor booths because you've now finished a session, you're already logged in, go walk around and see what those booths are all about. So as an exhibitor, I would plan on being in my booth around 4 o'clock on this day. I mean, I would probably check out the sessions and see what's going on. You'll be able to see how many people are logged in. You'll be able to see the engagement and what's going on. But this is going to be the primary time in which we're telling attendees to go and do that. You do not need to be in there. It's just recommended to be in there at that time. And you'll see that we've also done these partner snapshots. These are those 20-minute demos that everyone has. You are scheduled at the end of those virtual expo hall hours. Now, as we said, some people may take longer. Some people might skip out after the sessions are over. Either way, we're doing it in that sense that we're telling people in a regimented way what we would like them to be doing. So this is where you can currently find this schedule on our website, thechurchfacilitiesexpo.com. But as you can see, it's already built into the session, the system here. Our social wall, if you are active on social media, please do use the hashtag CFX 2020. That hashtag, and I believe it's only on Twitter, will be showing up on this space right now. I believe in the future they're going to be building in additional platforms, but right now Twitter is the only one that's pulling up. As a matter of fact, actually, this is not our hashtag right here. This is TCSACon. So Stephanie has one edit we need to work on. Other things that you can see, that was the schedule. And this is actually very similar to what you'll see as the attendees will see as a dashboard. The advertising we were talking about would be in this space right here. They would see a banner ad in that location, that top right corner. If I look at exhibits, this is the exhibitor directory space. So all of the companies are listed here. One interesting thing, and I don't know why, I haven't gotten an answer. Your booth will not show up on this, oddly enough. You'll be able to see all the other exhibitors except your own, which I don't understand, and I'm looking for an answer for that one because that makes no sense to me. So that's why CFX doesn't show up right now, but I can see everybody else's virtual booth. As you can see, Brian's booth, this is one I was talking about earlier. Brian did a really cool job. This looks great. He's got in a bunch of different videos and pictures, all these external links that go to websites, case studies. Awesome, I love that. Here's some copy. So he put in a description here that's a couple lines long and then put in a much bigger So it looks like press releases, maybe some trainings, promotional videos, and then a whole bunch of resources in here.
I think those are their sessions they're doing for our event that he's got listed there.
Oh, is that what they are? Yeah, look at you.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's a really great idea. I love it.
That is a cool idea. I like that. This video on demand section, right now, as you can see, we don't have any sessions that have been done and recorded, so they're not up there yet. But they will be. This is where they're going to be listed. And I want to say in the exhibits, yes, so they can sort by lighting products and see the lighting companies, or media streaming, which we don't have any right now. Also will be the same, I believe, with the attendees. Yeah, well, kind of. I was hoping that they would have more ability to select people like themselves where they could look for categories. It looks like that hasn't been added yet, but that's part of the process. So an attendee can search by different types of people. You can do this as well. Obviously, as an exhibitor, you can look for, I just want to look for attendees. And here are some attendees that have registered, put in their stuff. It doesn't look like I'm able to click on them just yet. I will find out when that's coming. We have Stephanie and I will be doing a full walkthrough of our system on Saturday morning to make sure all these bugs and all these things that are supposed to work are working. But as you can see, this is what the attendee connection will look like. And then lastly, our social wall, which we've been really busy on social media over the last few weeks. And as I mentioned, use your hashtag. If you have press releases that are going on, please do send them to us. We are posting on our website. We're sending them in newsletters. We want to make sure that we're being as efficient in helping you get your message out to our attendees. Our latest email went out to 82,000 people an hour ago, I think it was. We are marketing with our partners at Technologies for Worship, Church Production Magazine, Church Executive, Church Tech Today, and even the friends at LDI who still have the old WFX list that we were able to market to just this week. So we're getting the message out to tens of thousands of people about what's going on at CFX and what's going on in the House of Worship market for companies like yourself. So Stephanie, do you want to talk about the demo stuff?
Yeah. Most of you should have received an email from me, a couple emails from me maybe earlier this week. Some of those I created before we found out some specific details. So the biggest thing I want to make sure I point out to you is all of you will be using Zoom links. If you see most of the specifics on the specs page are going to be focused more towards the speakers, the breakout session speakers who are using the StreamPoint platform. So all you really need to know is you are using Zoom. So however you normally use Zoom, any types of file formats you normally use, whatever that is, you can still use Zoom the way you normally use it. I do recommend, if it's easy, if you have a YouTube link, if you're doing a pre-recorded video, if you have an MP4 file, any of those things will be great. MOV files even will probably be fine. Whatever usually works best for you in your Zoom environment, I would recommend that you can do that. If that changes, I will confirm that. I know he said that with their system, there are very specific files and formats for you to be able to use, but I will confirm that even though we're doing Zoom through their platform, I believe it should still be fine how you normally use it, but I will confirm that for you guys. One of the other things I did just within yesterday and today, I sent out a number of invitations. So each of you should have received an invitation for your demo spot. Please make sure if some of them I don't have the email addresses for the people who are actually doing your demos. So please make sure you forward those on to your speakers who will be doing that. If you're doing a pre-recorded session, some of you have told me that you're going to send me your stuff and we will need to, I will be pressing play on your videos. You just need to make sure that you communicate that with me. If I don't hear from you that you're sending me a video, I will assume that you are handling it yourself live, and I will be available if you need anything during your session, but I'm going to let you guys kind of take it and run with it. At this point in time, we will not be introducing you. It's just going to be as soon as your session time starts, you can run and go. One thing to note about your start time, if you'll notice in the schedule over there that Ron is scrolling through, all of those sessions there, they're saying they start at 12:50 p.m. And actually, those are times I gave him. Those are actually wrong. Those should all say 1:50 p.m. But it's they're starting 10 minutes early because we have just bumper slides that we're putting ahead of the session, so that way for people who arrive early, they have something to look at and they're not just sitting there staring at a blank screen. But your session will actually, I'm not even sure how that's going to happen with the Zoom thing. We'll just have to make sure. Yeah, we'll do that on our end on the Zoom part. So once our videos are done at 1 o'clock or whatever your scheduled time starts is, then you can go ahead and you can start your demo however you're starting it. If you're starting it with a live person talking, if you're starting it with a video, it's just at that, we'll just say 2 o'clock time, that go time, that's when you will go ahead and start your demo. And then at the end, you're kind of the last thing for the day, and so that'll be the last thing the attendees will see. We might throw a little slide up there at the end just to remind everybody what's coming tomorrow. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for that part.
Great. One thing I do want to mention, and it's kind of, it crosses over into the expo side as well as the demos. We talk a lot about lead retrieval. Obviously, a virtual event like this, lead gen is the most important part of this. You will be, originally when we had designed or built the system, we were told that in your dashboard, there was going to be a lead retrieval option in here. You would see like leads here and you could click on it and see who visited your booth. That's not going to be available. So what we are, and they are developing it, and it's very possible it becomes available in a couple of weeks, but it's not going to be available for October 5th. What we are going to be doing is at the end of each day, pulling reports of who visited your booths. So you'll receive an email with those lists instead of having it here. So you'll still get the list and the data. It's just not going to be as self-sufficient as I was hoping it was going to be. And it still very well might be by the end, but right now that's not going to be the case. Along the lines of your demo, you will receive the list of those attendees who attend your session. And when the sessions go into the on-demand status, people will have the ability to video record, to download those and watch those. You'll be able to see who watched your session later on. So we'll send you follow-up lists of attendees that have participated in watching your session. So it's not only that day that you're doing a session, but throughout the rest of the time up until December 6th, people will be able to view and learn about you.
Okay.
I think that's everything on my end. Do you have anything?
I just have 2 more things to mention real quick.
Go for it.
Most of you, thank you. You've gotten me all the information I need for your demos. There are a few of you that you've just joined us this week, and I know you're working to get me that information. Just a reminder to get that to me as soon as you possibly can. We cannot add it to StreamPoint until we get that information from you. So we can put it up on our website so people know it's coming, but we can't include it in the StreamPoint schedule at all until I get it. So it's very critical that you get that to me as soon as possible. And then just a reminder, I think most of you probably are aware of this, but just a reminder, this is the House of Worship Market. So just make sure that you're catering to people who are in houses of worship. So that way, don't want to do something that would be offensive to them, but also just want to make sure that it's specific to their needs, which are often very different from the live event status or live event productions. So if you have any questions about that, talk to Ron or myself, and we would be happy to give you some pointers on how to do that well. And that's all I had. And I see there's some questions there, Ron. So I don't know.
Okay. You know what? I can't even see that screen. Hang on.
Well,
There we
I
go.
can, okay.
I can see participants more. Where's my chat? Chat, there we go. Perfect. Mine says add 3. Does that mean the main exhibitor is already an automatic first booth attendant and we just add reading? I believe that is the case, yes. In my situation here, I am the main contact, and I have been able to do everything. I've added my brother, and actually, you know what's funny? I don't see my meeting room here, but I know he did. That's a good question. Let me find out the answer to that. Is it main contact +4, or is it main contact +3? Okay, I will find that one out, Heather. I'm also seeing an oops, that page can't be found, message in Chrome and Firefox and Internet Explorer when I log in. Okay, let me find out what's going on with yours, Sophia. I'm gonna, after this is over, I will try and log in as you and find out what's going on. Where's Weston? Why isn't he on here? He's in the other room. What is the booth deadline for setup? So technically, we don't really have a deadline. You could sign up, you could set up, sorry, after October 5th. I could not log in or reset password today using Chrome. Okay, good things. I'm going to work on those 2 issues there for Heather and Sophia. So you can add content to your virtual booth at any point. You can change images, you can delete some of those pieces. So like for instance, I'm going to go into, let's say, one of my resources isn't good anymore. And I want to get rid of that. So this updated, I put the prospectus up there, but I want to remove it, or I want to add a new piece. You can totally change that. Maybe your pricing change, something along those lines. So at any time you can update and change all the way up through December 6th. I would say obviously the big giant ribbon cutting is on Monday. So I would anticipate we'll have lots of people in the virtual booths beginning around, I don't know, we haven't really set up a time that people will log in. 2 o'clock is when our first session is supposed to start. So I would anticipate after 1 o'clock, people would be inside the system. He's carpeting extra. Seriously? There's a question I don't need to answer right now. Is there a special registration code for sponsors when registering for CFX? So your registration is actually free. It's included. So you can go into the virtual booth in here, and you can get access to the login, which is already logged in for myself. You've all been registered, so if you haven't received the email confirmation, you know what? I should probably do that again. I'll resend everybody's confirmation email. That way you have it in your inbox and it's the most recent. But you can go to your sign-in area, enter your email address or forgot your password, and it'll allow you to re-log in. And there's Kurt again. For some reason, it really likes you.
I lost your screen anyway.
Okay. For the exhibitor login versus speaker login, what categories does Ask an Expert fall into? Good question. You would be, your default is going to be exhibitor login. For the Ask the Expert session, that's another one of those Zoom sessions. So as a presenter, you'll actually go into Zoom to present with the link that Stephanie gave you. So you don't at any point need to utilize their speaker login. You'll do everything from the exhibitor side.
Thank you for clarifying that, Ron. I forgot to mention that it's all through Zoom.
Every
single person watching this, you are all through Zoom. You just go straight to your Zoom, log in with that link, and you're good.
Now, the one thing I did receive clarification on today, Stephanie, is when I get into our company, go. When an attendee goes into the schedule area where that list of sessions is, they will have a Join Now button for your session. even though it's a Zoom session. And what's going to happen is this join now will open up a new tab, which is going to be a Zoom tab. So they still have to log in as an attendee into the virtual booth to get access to your demo, to participate, but it's just going to be popping itself outside for that one window. All right, any other questions for the exhibitor?
No.
I can honestly tell you, in my career, having dealt with carpeting and power, I never thought I would be building websites for these sorts of things, but I do need to thank Stephanie for all of her hard work. It has been quite the year, and I'm sure for all of you, in that we've all become marketing people and salespeople and web developers and social media managers that we never expected we would be. And I'm thrilled that I'm able to take this ride with you guys, and we're gonna make an amazing event here. So thank you again for participating. I will edit this video and clean it up a little bit, and then I will post it on our website. The exhibitor kit is not currently linked on the homepage. I am going to link it under the virtual conference, so you can get access to it from here. So if there's any other questions, please do feel free to send me an email or give me a shout on the phone, 401-439-8748. And we will be working all the way through the weekend to get this thing done and ready to go for you guys.
Yes. Heather, I saw your last little confirmation there. You're correct. For the Ask the Expert, you do not need to create a virtual speaker registration. You just don't need to worry about that at all. You're just going to use the Zoom link. And then the booth, the exhibitor login is for your booth.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Cheers.